Imagine you sitting in Santa's lap. Doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter if you're a boy, a girl. Doesn't matter about any of that. Imagine sitting in Santa's lap, and you are a professional wrestling fan for the year of 2018. What is the one thing that you would wish for to be under your tree on Christmas Day, tonight, tomorrow, this holiday season? I can think of a few things. Number one, I'd wish for Monday Night Raw to be back to 2 hours, from 9 to 11. I would wish for Vince McMahon to be out of power for Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live. I would appoint Triple H in charge, and I would have him oversee both operations on Monday and Tuesday night, while leaving his second in charge of NXT. I would actually merge the women's divisions. I would get rid of the brand split for only the women's and the tag team divisions. Yes, we would merge the women's divisions on Raw and SmackDown. Same thing goes for the tag team divisions on Raw and SmackDown. I'd bring back Pyro. I'd get rid of Michael Cole or Renee Young. I would actually put people in charge that actually make you want to watch this show. I would appoint Mauro Ranallo as the new voice of Monday Night Raw. Those are just some of the things that I want under my Christmas tree, but we're not going to get those things this year, folks. We're not going to get them next year. We're not going to get them the year after that. We're not going to get them any year, ever. Not until Vince McMahon is no longer with us. Monday Night Raw tonight, ladies and gentlemen, was a complete waste of everybody's time. If you did anything else on this Christmas Eve, God bless you. God bless you. This was a complete waste of 3 hours of programming. Don't even know why they even bothered putting anything on television. Don't even know why they even bothered filming anything for tonight. This was a complete waste of time. But you know what? You know what? I am not going to sit here and shit on the shows like I usually do. I'm not going to do that because I know that everybody's home for the holidays. I know everybody's with their families, with their loved ones. I know that they deserve more than anybody to have the time off and relax and refresh. Have a nice cold, ice cold glass of eggnog. Have a nice piece of pumpkin pie or a nice serving of gingerbread or some gingerbread cookies, right? They deserve all that. They deserve all of that. But I would love to know if any of these individuals on Raw or SmackDown for tomorrow are watching the show back and they're watching how horrendous this show really is. This was a standard run-of-the-mill holiday edition of Monday Night Raw. Zero energy, which you would expect from it being filmed immediately after whatever happened last week. And whatever happened last week was horrendous in itself, full of bullshit and lies and no change whatsoever. Those fans had to sit and watch another 2 hours of WWE programming with the same people that they watched for 3 hours previous, but this time more exhausted. You're getting the same promos and the same video packages over and over and over again. Nothing new, nothing's changed, but Stephanie McMahon came out last week and said, "It starts tonight. The change starts tonight." And nothing has changed. Absolutely nothing has changed, folks. Nothing has changed. But you know what? I'm not gonna sit here and rag on Monday Night Raw tonight. I can't. There's nothing for me to say. No storylines were progressed. Nothing materialized from anything on television. It was just 3 boring hours of lifeless fucking television. So God bless you for not watching I thank everybody for all the support all year. I thank everybody for waiting for me to review these shows. I thank everybody for living vicariously through me so you don't have to watch these shows. I'll take the bullet for you. How about that one? Monday Night Raw, Christmas Eve. We're going to go over everything that we have to go over. Very scarcely. Nothing of importance happened tonight. But I will say one thing, man. A lot of the reports coming out of this show made it seem a lot worse than it actually was in certain situations. We'll talk about it. And there was one major announcement tonight which WWE just kind of threw out there and made it seem like it was of no importance whatsoever. If you didn't look when it was happening, you missed it. If you blinked, it was just there and vanished just as quick. We're going to go over it. Apparently, Santa Claus came and made a major announcement for 2019. We're going to go over that today on the Monday Night Raw review. I got to thank my bro, Celrex, for the nice custom festive layout that we got here with the lights and then the wording above the Raw logo with the nice Christmas hat on top. The fucking Grinch reviews Raw, because that's what I am, man. I'm the Grinch. But I want to shout out and thank Celrex for all the support that he's given me, man. I didn't even ask him for any special layouts or artwork for Monday Night Raw tonight. It was just in my email. So he's been like that all year. He's been like that ever since I've come in contact with him. He's a supporter of the show, and I want to shout him out. I also want to shout out Mike Will87 on Twitter for all the layouts for my pay-per-views. Those are my two go-to guys for everything, man. They make the channel look great. Mike is actually the one in charge of the off-the-script logo and the layout as well that you see every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So thank you to those guys. I hope both of you have a very Merry Christmas. And if you missed Off the Script, man, major show this weekend. So make sure you guys go and check that out. Parts 1, 2, and 3 live on the channel right now. Go and check all that stuff out. As well as follow me on social media, man, at JD from NY206. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Give that bell the middle finger. And pledge to the Patreon page if you guys want to support. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. Let's get into this Raw review, man. We're going to go over from the top all the way till the main event. By the way, two things of note before I get into the review. Number one, I started the review early. It's 10:46. I'm not watching the main event because I don't know what I'm missing with a Seth Rollins and Baron Corbin main event that I didn't get with their ladder match. No reason for me to review it. It's the same shit all over again. Don't want to waste my time. Number two, it's Christmas Day tomorrow. Or when you guys watch this on the 25th, it'll be Christmas Day today. I am not reviewing SmackDown Live tonight. I will get to it when I can on Wednesday, but it will be in your subscription boxes when I get an opportunity, and then we'll do NXT as well. So, programming note, no SmackDown Live review on Tuesday night like you usually get. It'll be on Wednesday afternoon at some point. Make sure you guys look out for that one. Monday Night Raw, Christmas Eve. Start off with Elias in the middle of the ring. We start off with the spotlight on Elias. He starts playing, asks, same old shtick, who wants to walk with Elias? Who wants to walk with him tonight on Christmas Eve? Elias goes on and reminds us what WWE stands for, World's Worst Entertainment. Oh, I'm sorry. Walk with Elias. At this point, I don't know who the fuck is walking with Elias because he's been a certified loser as of late. Elias says it's truly better to give than to receive. I don't know about that, man. I was with your fucking sister on Wednesday night last week. I'd rather receive than give. She gives a good one. Anyway, I gotta throw it in there, man. My crude dice humor, I gotta throw in there. You know? So, we're talking about Bobby Lashley. He's giving us the gift that we've all wanted. Humiliating Bobby Trashley. I'm sorry, Elias. This gift is a regifter. You are a regifter. Because Bobby Trashley has already given us the gift of humiliating Bobby Trashley. He has humiliated himself. The guy is fucking god-awful. The guy is god-awful. No charisma. He is bland. There is nothing exciting about him whatsoever. Nobody wants to see him on television. There's no way this guy will succeed under current WWE management. And the guy's a failure. The guy was brought back for nothing. If I had the stroke of a pen, this guy would be terminated before I could even breathe. Bobby Trashley. So, you want to give the gift of humiliating Bobby Trashley, but that's already happened since April. So, I'm sorry, Elias. I'm going to have to return your gift. I hope that you gave me a gift receipt. Elias asks everyone for silence. Silence your cell phones. Hold your applause. Let the power of Elias take over. I wish the power of the fucking alcohol I drank tonight took over quick enough so I didn't have to fucking watch this show and I could have been in bed by 9:30. He begins the song taking shots at Trashley and Leo Rush. Elias ends the song with Bobby Trashley sucks over and over and over again. A tune I could become very accustomed to. But then Bobby Trashley comes out and we have ourselves, ladies and gentlemen, yes, a 34th Street fight, or Miracle on 34th Street fight. Elias versus Bobby Trashley. This was the run-of-the-mill, same old shit, nothing new here. Half of this match was fucking boring until Elias started pulling out weapons from fucking presents, or unwrapping weapons that were gifted underneath the tree. Yes, Bobby Lashley was actually... Oh, I'm sorry. I fucked up. I'm not even going to edit it out. Bobby Trashley was actually attacked with a Christmas tree. Yes, he was attacked with a Christmas tree, folks. At one point, Bobby Trashley took out a bag that you would normally see thumbtacks in, but instead of thumbtacks on this night, in the bag was Legos, because everybody makes, mention of, if you step on a Lego, how excruciatingly difficult the pain is to cope with. So he stepped on Legos, or he was slammed into Legos. There was Legos sticking, off of his back, or they were stuck to his back. Elias slammed him into Legos. So I would not want to be on the receiving end of that, by the way. That shit fucking hurts. I know every single one of you listening to me has once in a lifetime stepped on a Lego, but I would take a Lego over a thumbtack. I'm very, very positive of that one. Elias follows up and sprays a fire extinguisher in Lashley's face. Lashley accidentally knocks Rush off the apron through a Christmas party table filled with nice Christmas silverware and plates and cupware and a bowl of eggnog. Fans go crazy. Or they go crazy as, I guess, Fresno could. Elias drops Lashley with a jumping knee to the face. Elias with a fire extinguisher shot to the gut. Elias stomps away in the corner. Elias keeps control. Goes outside to get another gift. He takes a box from underneath the tree that was destroyed earlier. And inside this box, everybody's gift this season, or something wanted by everybody, a bowling ball. Takes a bowling ball. And Lashley, or Trashley, is sitting in the corner with his legs wide open. And he stands there with the bowling ball in hand. And he bowls a strike right in between Bobby Trashley's legs. Strike! Knocked them all down. So, Elias then bowls a strike like I mentioned. He goes on and goes outside again. He gets another present. Inside this present was a red cello. And he smashes it over Bobby Lashley's back. Trashley's back. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Elias wins the Miracle on 34th Street fight. It was fun, I guess, for the last 2 minutes when they started really getting into it with the Legos and the bowling ball and the cello. Other than that, Bobby Lashley couldn't even make a fucking hardcore match exciting. What does that say about him? Raw, if he has anything of positivity from any of these goons on social media, WWE has absolutely buried this guy so far that nothing will resuscitate him from the grave. Nothing. Guy's done. Don't want to see him anymore. Don't really care. Elias. This does nothing for Elias either. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. But again, like I said in the beginning, this was nothing more than just a festive, fun, Miracle on 34th Street fight for the little kiddies in Fresno, California, in front of this crowd. That was all it was. Nothing more, nothing less. We have Mr. McMahon Claus. Mr. McMahon Claus comes out. Got a segment by himself. Sitting in the back somewhere. Nice fireplace lit up. Sitting in front of a Christmas tree. McMahon Claus announces that John Cena will be on Raw and SmackDown. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Another regifter. We've had this before. John Cena did the same thing when he came back last time. He was on Raw and he was on SmackDown. So how is this a new gift to the WWE Universe? You asked for change. Or we asked for change, rather. And this is the change that you give us. Same old shit. The next thing that we got was an announcement. And a major announcement at that. The WWE announced, or McMahon Claus announced, that we're getting women's tag team titles in 2019. Yes, folks, on a Christmas Eve taped edition in front of a dead, lifeless Fresno crowd, we had McMahon Claus announce that we're getting women's tag team titles in 2019. If that doesn't reek of unimportance to you, I don't know what will. It smells like rotten eggnog to me. That was awful. That was the best you could do for that announcement. And now I'm going to get into JD mode. That was the best that you could give me for that type of announcement. A, that shows me that Vince McMahon and WWE doesn't give 3 fucks about the women's division. Or anything that's happening with the Evolution. Number 2, that's a pretty big deal if you ask me. Tag team champions, for the first time in forever, are going to be crowned in the women's division. And that's how you go about announcing it? I don't believe the shit that this company does. Even when I shouldn't be shitting on them, that's what we get. Number 3, how long before the WWE fucks this up? And you know they will fuck this up. If this does not mean one of 2 things, this will be a failure. 1, if WWE does not merge both divisions and unify the fucking titles at WrestleMania with Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda, this will be a failure. If WWE doesn't allow this championship that they're instituting to their television, if they don't allow this championship to be roaming, and I mean roaming from Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, if they go about making 2 sets of championships for Raw and SmackDown, this will be a failure. I don't want to hear anybody's fucking mouth. This is doomed to fail if you don't listen to the words I am speaking here tonight on Christmas Eve. Simple as that. I don't want to hear it. But that's the way WWE announced women's tag team championships coming to television in 2019. Great. First of all, I don't even know who the fuck asked for that or would ask for that on Christmas Day. Because they can't even book their tag teams correctly in the men's division. Now we're getting women's tag team titles. Great. Great. Let me go through a fucking parade and douse myself in eggnog like a drunken fool. Ridiculous. Have a little bit more respect for what's going on. You want it to be important? Don't announce it with Vince McMahon, your CEO, wearing a fucking Santa outfit. Yeah, I'm going to bitch and moan because it's ridiculous. You could have saved that for the first live show of 2019. But I guess WWE wants to make light of everything because nothing fucking matters in this company. The third thing they announced, riddle me this, Batman. Is there change? Of course not. What's the change happening on Monday Night Raw? Dolph Ziggler versus Drew McIntyre. Again, wow. WWE thinks that we're going to get all excited for it because it's going to be inside a steel cage. Let me copy NXT some more, will you? Aleister Black and Johnny Gargano put on a great steel cage match. Their feud actually called for it. Their feud made sense. Ziggler and McIntyre, why the fuck are they in a steel cage match? Does anybody fucking care? And what is going to happen to the winner of this match? Nothing. Nothing. Who the fuck cares? It's another desperate attempt at a ratings grab for the third hour of this show. And it will do nothing. I don't give a flying fuck. Seriously. And I'm sure neither do you. So that was McMahon Claus giving everybody the gifts for 2019. Going on into 2019. Yeah, great. I've never been more disappointed in my entire fucking life. Raw Tag Team titles. The Revival versus Chad Gable and Bobby Roode. I will say two things about this match. One, the reports that we've heard come out of this show, the same night the Raw episode last week ended, the reports coming out from Fresno last week about this match actually were overblown. They were overblown. Now, a lot of people were saying, oh, the Revival's buried. Oh, the Revival, you know, they promised change, and it's right back to treating the Revival like shit. Same old story. Same old story. Listen, I don't want to see Chad Gable and Bobby Roode as tag team champions. I don't. But a lot of people overblew this entire Revival situation. Yes, the Revival lost. Yes, the Revival lost. But what people who reported Monday Night Raw, who were there and gave the news and the word to the dirt sheets, left out one very important detail. Because I didn't hear about it. This was the first time I seen it watching this match. Chad Gable and Bobby Roode pinned the wrong man. They pinned the wrong man. They pinned Scott Dawson. Meanwhile, Dash Wilder was the legal man. And they actually made mention of that on commentary. And you've seen the body language and the Revival explaining to the referee that he made a fuck up. So whatever everybody's thinking about the Revival, they have a guaranteed rematch happening because Gable and Roode didn't pin the legal man. They pinned the wrong guy. So I am okay with that. And you know what? The match wasn't half bad. Now, is WWE going to give these guys a major pay-per-view slot at the Royal Rumble to tell their story? No. I would rather it happen on Monday Night Raw. Because Monday Night Raw is the A show, according to WWE. Whenever they get the rematch, don't book it on the pre-show at the Royal Rumble. Don't book it at the Royal Rumble. Save the Royal Rumble for other matches that are more important. Let's build the tag team division up slowly but surely. Save it for Monday Night Raw, whether it happens before Raw or the Raw after the Royal Rumble. That's what I would do. But this match was not half bad at all. And this goes to show you that the Revival could work with anybody. I'm watching this match, and yes, we got Scott Dawson, Dash Wilder, and Chad Gable. All we're missing here is Jason Jordan. But instead of Jason Jordan, we got Bobby Roode. Now, Bobby Roode is no Jason Jordan, but I was getting flashbacks of American Alpha versus Revival. This match was nowhere near those classics, but it was a decent showing for both teams. And, you know, I shit all over Chad Gable and Bobby Roode, but they're slowly growing on me. And if they're going to be giving me matches like this with the Revival, that's exactly what the tag team division needs. Not only the division, but the Revival. This was a decent match. I don't think anybody should be shitting on this match. It was probably the best thing on this entire Monday Night Raw, match-wise. But the Revival ended up losing. Dash tags in for the impressive double team, but Roode makes the save. So Dawson sends Roode out of the ring. Roode comes back in, messes up a shatter machine attempt, driving Wilder out to the floor. This goes into Gable rolling up Dawson for the pin and retaining the titles. But the thing was, Dawson wasn't the legal man. It was Dash Wilder who was the legal man. So the Revival have a tag team title rematch coming. I don't mind that at all. This was a decent match. So kudos to both teams. Hopefully this leads to the Revival getting some sort of justice here and claiming, finally, the Raw Tag Team Championships. We're backstage, and the B Team is singing their own version of the 12 Days of Christmas. I don't know who the fuck would enjoy that, but I was trying to come up with a witty, sarcastic joke here for the B Team, but I cannot do that at this current time. Don't even know why the fuck they're on television to begin with. They're singing a song to Apollo Crews. Crews isn't impressed enough to buy some of their merchandise because they're wearing their ugly sweaters. But maybe next year, he says. Crews walks off. Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel keep singing. And you know where this is going. It's going to be some lame backstage skit where they end up getting drunk. And they end up making fools of themselves. So we get the constant change is coming on Monday Night Raw. We see promos for all the new NXT call-ups. Seen it last week. Nothing different. Nothing impressive. Nothing to jump out of your skin about. Triple threat, Drew McIntyre, Dolph Ziggler, and Finn Balor in a triple threat match. You guys know where I feel on all this. Drew McIntyre, right? He lost to Dolph Ziggler, comes out the next week after that, beats Dolph Ziggler, goes into TLC, loses to Finn Balor. Back and forth we go, rinse and repeat, up and down, left and right, 50-50 booking. What does this mean for Drew McIntyre? I don't fucking know. All I know is, it seems that WWE is cooling off on Drew McIntyre. For whatever reason, I don't know. There has not been a reason yet from any legitimate source. Dolph Ziggler, he's got to win over Drew McIntyre. Who gives a shit? Dolph Ziggler's going nowhere. In fact, he'll probably go into the Royal Rumble and last about 3 minutes. Nobody gives a shit, or nobody will give a shit, about Dolph Ziggler in 2019. Finn Balor, who could possibly give a shit about Finn Balor when the guy's been buried for the majority of 2019? And by majority, I mean 12 out of the 12 months in the calendar year, except for the last couple of weeks. Who gives a shit? What does this mean for Finn Balor? Is he going to win the Royal Rumble? No. Is he going to challenge for the Universal Championship? No. Is he going to get a prime position on Monday Night Raw? After everything that this guy has been through, do you see that happening? I don't. So the answer is no. Drew McIntyre. He seemed to be the new king of the mountain on Monday Night Raw ever since Roman Reigns went down with illness. Seemed to be pushed to the fucking moon. Rocket pack strapped to him. And then all of a sudden, he's been cooled off. They took the fire extinguisher that we seen in the Elias Trashley match, and they sprayed that motherfucker all over Drew McIntyre. Nobody knows why. But I have a reason why. I have a legit possible reason why. Because in Vince McMahon's sick, demented mind, who cares? Who cares? That might mean, the way we see Drew being booked, that might mean he's going into the Royal Rumble and he's going to have an impressive showing in the Royal Rumble because they can afford to do that because the Royal Rumble is a clean slate. That's the mentality that I'm getting from WWE. That's the logic I'm getting here. So he could lose, he could lose, he could win, he could lose, he could lose. He could come off as cooled off and not having as much momentum as he did in October. But he's going into the Royal Rumble. Drew McIntyre might have 7, 8, 9, 10 eliminations in the Royal Rumble. For fuck's sake, he might end up winning the entire goddamn thing. Because there's been rumors that Strowman is going to beat Lesnar at the Royal Rumble for the Universal title. McIntyre is going to win the Royal Rumble, and we're going to get Drew McIntyre versus Braun Strowman for the Universal title at WrestleMania for that specific title match. I don't give a shit about any of that. That does not interest me at all. But that's what I see WWE planning here. Or that I could see their reasoning for cooling off Drew McIntyre. Here, Finn Balor wins. Finn Balor beats both Ziggler and McIntyre. Drew comes in and blocks a move by Ziggler. Drew catapults Ziggler off the top of Balor. Drew covers Balor for a close 2 count. Drew then waits for Balor to get up. Balor blocks a Claymore kick with a sling blade. Balor goes on and drops Drew with a kick to the face. Balor goes to the top for a coup de grace, but Ziggler cut him off. Ziggler ends up headbutting Drew and then dropping him with a super kick for a 2 count. As Balor breaks up the pin with a coup de grace, Balor gets hyped. Balor sends Drew out of the ring to the floor with a clothesline. Balor dropkicks Ziggler like he usually does everybody. That hesitation missile dropkick. Dropkicks Ziggler into the turnbuckles and then hits another coup de grace for the pin and the win. Finn Balor beats Drew McIntyre and Finn Balor. After the match, Balor celebrating. He leaves the ring. Drew re-enters the ring, approaches Ziggler, who is down after being pinned and nailed with a coup de grace. Drew grabs Ziggler and talks trash in his face. Drew pushes Ziggler away and says, "What is your problem? I am here to better this place. You are doing nothing but getting in the way." Slaps him around a bit and throws him back down to the mat as he exits the ring. I don't know, folks. I think I have a legitimate reason as to why Drew McIntyre has not been the same or he not feeling as special as he has been in recent months. So that is my logic for that. This was a decent match, but it did nothing for anybody. This means nothing for Finn Balor. What does this mean? You know, if you beat both Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler on Monday Night Raw tonight, you beat Drew McIntyre at the fucking pay-per-view on Sunday, what does that mean? That means you're doing pretty well for yourself. But we know in the end, Balor will amount to nothing. Because this is Monday Night Raw. The land where nothing changes. B-Team is backstage. They're singing still their 12 Days of Christmas. They're having no luck. Frustrated Bo Dallas knocks over a Christmas tree. Because nobody gives a shit about the B-Team. It's not very difficult to figure out why. Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Ember Moon versus Mickie James, Dana Brooke, and Alicia Fox. I know what Dana Brooke's Christmas gift this year was. Being showcased on Monday Night Raw one time this year. Awesome. Awesome. I would rather have a lump of coal in the corner of Mickie James and Alicia Fox. That's how fucking terrible she is. In fact, trade out Dana Brooke and Alicia Fox for a lump of coal and a dish of gingerbread cookies. In fact, I guarantee you, the gingerbread cookies would be better wrestlers than both Dana Brooke and Alicia Fox. And they might be, actually, not might be, I know for a fact that they will be more tasty. I love gingerbread, man. Gingerbread is one of my favorite things about the holiday season. So it's Mickie James and two worthless individuals that I'd rather see out there, replaced by gingerbread men. Against Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Ember Moon. Do you care? Does this match mean anything for any of these women? Fresno, I feel sorry for you. Same old shit, right? We got change. 6-woman tags happening on Monday Night Raw. Instead of Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Natalya, now we're replacing Natalya with Ember Moon. And instead of the Riot Squad, we're getting Mickie James, Dana Brooke, and Alicia Fox. Change, right? Yeah, sure. Anyway, moving on. We got the 6-woman tag on into the best part of the show. Non-wrestling wise. Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is introducing himself as always. Strowman is challenging Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble for the Universal Championship. By the way, Paul Heyman sang his own version of Silent Night, and it was absolutely melodic. It was angelic. I would love if Paul Heyman came to my family's outing and sang Christmas carols until he couldn't do it anymore. That little Jew. That silly little bald Jew. Love him. Absolutely love him, man. Guy's brilliant. He was losing his voice after he was singing, but he did a fantastic job. So, Heyman says he had access to Braun Strowman's WWE personnel file, and he found that Braun used to sit by his family's Christmas tree when he was a little monster. And he asked Santa Claus to bring him a replica title. Now he's a grown monster and he wants the real title, but at the expense of Lesnar. Heyman says he might as well shoot from the hip on Braun tonight. Santa won't be bringing Braun the Universal title from Lesnar. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer will not light that special path to the title for Braun. Heyman goes on ranting and says that Strowman is getting nothing but a lump of coal in his stocking. This show is very reminiscent of a lump of coal, people. Lifeless, dull, and soulless. Boring. Worthless. Love it. Love it. Not the real title, not even a replica title. Strowman comes out. He's got no arm in a sling anymore. He's got nothing but his arm wrapped up in bandages. Strowman's elbows all taped up. Strowman enters the ring, stares Heyman down, and does the "Get These Hands" chant. Heyman looks terrified as he wishes Braun Strowman a Merry Christmas in fear. Strowman places a red nose on Heyman and then sets him up with reindeer antlers. So he put a red nose and reindeer antlers on Paul Heyman. Strowman taunts Heyman and introduces him as the red-nosed advocate. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Advocate. Strowman says he has a message to take back to Brock Lesnar. I'll give you guys one fucking guess what it was. And I guarantee you will be blown away by it, that your excitement is going to be fucking seeping through whatever device you're watching me on. You ready for it? Braun Strowman said, "Fuck this show, I quit." No, I kid. He said, "Get these hands." Man, I can't wait for that fucking match. That just elicits excitement to a point where I can't fucking contain myself anymore. We've seen this at Crown Jewel. And Braun Strowman is not going to be ready until the Royal Rumble. So if Braun Strowman is not ready to go in the meantime for this build, how are you going to build up Braun Strowman to a point where you're going to make him a believable challenger to Brock Lesnar after what we've seen Brock Lesnar do to Braun Strowman just a month and a half ago? I don't know, WWE. You got a big fucking hill to climb on that little dilemma. Bullshit. Couldn't give a single fuck about the Universal title match at the Royal Rumble. Charlie Caruso is backstage with Natalya, asking about facing a friend and a training partner in Ronda Rousey. Natalya says she expects nothing but the best from Ronda, and she knows Rousey would expect the same. Natalya says she helped train Rousey, so no one knows her like Natalya does. No one. Natalya says 2018 was one of the most challenging years of her life, but she's focused and determined. She's ready. She says it would be an amazing gift to her family if she brings home the title on Christmas, and she's going to do it. Raw Women's title, Natalya versus Ronda Rousey. This wasn't as bad as I expected it to be. In fact, it was exactly how I anticipated it to be. I would expect nothing less from a Rousey-Natalya match. Natalya is not a brute athlete. She's not full of strength, and she's not going to throw Rousey around like a Nia Jax or anything like that. But it was exactly what we expected it to be. It was slow. It was submission-based, ground-based, jockeying for position. And until the end, that's all it was. There was really nothing special about the match. But what I seen from the match was Ronda Rousey counter the sharpshooter in brilliant fashion. That's what I seen. Now, WWE tried to do their best to sell me on Natalya getting Ronda Rousey in the sharpshooter, but it did nothing for me. It did absolutely nothing for me. But I loved the counter of Ronda Rousey changing just positions in the sharpshooter to ultimately get the armbar on Natalya and make her tap out. So Rousey ends up scooping Natalya up on her shoulders for a fireman's carry. She did that Piper's Pit slam. Rousey can't get the pin or the armbar as Natalya quickly applies the sharpshooter in the middle of the ring. Rousey crawls to the bottom rope, and the fans are slowly starting to come to life. I guess that they are so stupid that they believe Natalya is going to make Ronda Rousey tap out. Nobody believed that for a split second, but it was a nice spot. Natalya drags Rousey back to the middle of the ring in the sharpshooter. Rousey crawls again to the ropes, but Natalya pulls her back, tightens the hold. Rousey counters and rolls out of the sharpshooter to a vertical base, to a standing vertical base, and applies the armbar and makes Natalya tap out. Now, it looked a little funny with the outcome. The ending looked a little funny. Natalya ended up tapping out. What it looked like to me, she ended up tapping out as Ronda let go of the hold. Ronda let go of the hold, and then Natalya started to tap out. So it looked a little silly that Ronda let go of the hold. Natalya then tapped out, and the match was over. It looked to be a slight miscue or a mistiming issue on Natalya's behalf. But I thought that ending was really fun. But I don't know anybody watching the show who believed Natalya was going to win the fucking title from Ronda Rousey. I mentioned this yesterday. That entire gauntlet match was a complete waste of time. You set up tonight, but what did it do? Nothing. Nothing. We got a boring gauntlet match with a boring winner and a boring match with Natalya and Ronda Rousey up until about the last 45 seconds. So, what did it really do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Everybody in this Ronda Rousey path is expendable. No matter if it's Sasha, Bayley, Ruby Riott, Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax, Natalya, everybody's expendable. Unless your name is Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, there's no reason to get involved with Ronda Rousey right now. Because she is not losing that title at all until WrestleMania. I have a better chance of getting Jennifer Love Hewitt to knock on my door on Christmas Eve wearing nothing but a fucking Mrs. Claus outfit with fucking cookies and a bottle of beer in her hand. Hey, honey, look, I brought you gingerbread cookies and a Mad Elf ale. Please, enjoy these delicacies while I pull down your pants and blow you on Christmas Eve. I have a better chance of that happening than any of the Ronda Rousey stuff that you seen tonight that people thought was going to happen. She ain't tapping. She ain't losing. She's not losing the title. It's not happening. It's a waste of time. That's why I mentioned on Off the Script, Rousey is better off not even wrestling. I would not even book her in a match from this point on till WrestleMania. It's pointless. Maybe a defense in the Elimination Chamber. Maybe. But other than that, I wouldn't book her in a match with anybody on Monday Night Raw at the Royal Rumble. Sasha Banks is the only one legitimately that makes sense because she's a part of the Four Horsewomen. She can begin to plant other seeds from elsewhere in this whole horsewoman thing that certainly is going to materialize eventually in 2019. That's the only thing I do. But Natalya winning the title? Man, you guys must have been delirious in Fresno to be popping for that shit. I would have been sitting there fucking sound asleep like I always do. Anyway, moving on, man. Let's end this review and get the fuck out of here. We have Heath Slater versus Jinder Mahal. Former WWE champion Jinder Mahal, by the way. I always have to mention that because every single time I see this guy on television, I have to make sure you guys know of that cancerous fucking just run that he had in 2017 where he absolutely single-handedly killed SmackDown Live. Former WWE champion Jinder Mahal, the same Jinder Mahal that ruined SmackDown Live for about 6.5, 7 months in 2017. He's in a match with Heath Slater. He loses the match because he's distracted by someone wearing a Santa outfit giving gifts to the fans. So he takes his eye, a former WWE champion, takes his eyes off his opponent to worry about what Santa Claus is doing in the crowd. So Heath Slater back. He's not officiating anymore. He's got his job back. He's once again an active performer on Monday Night Raw. So Santa Claus suddenly appears in the crowd. Santa then tosses gifts to the fans. Jinder Mahal's looking on. Slater takes advantage of a distraction and drops Jinder from behind. Slater goes for the pin, but the Singh brothers hit the ring and attack him to make the save. So Heath Slater wins by DQ. Santa gets in the ring because Heath Slater is being triple teamed by Jinder and the Singh brothers. Santa enters the ring, starts beating down everybody. Santa suddenly clotheslines Jinder. Santa then tosses Sunil Singh out of the ring, and Slater tosses Samir Singh out of the ring. Slater looks at Santa and starts smiling. I wonder who it could be. He reveals himself, takes off his mask or his beard. He gores Jinder Mahal, and it's revealed as Rhino. Change is coming, folks. Change is coming. There you go. I'm glad that you guys ended up watching Monday Night Raw tonight to watch Heath Slater and Rhino dressed as Santa Claus get the best of Jinder Mahal, former WWE champion, and the Bollywood Boys. Awesome. Awesome. Finally, Seth Rollins and Baron Corbin. I did not watch the match, but I got notes here. I got notes, courtesy of Wrestling Inc. Pulled it up. Seth Rollins wins because, of course, why the fuck would he lose? He just lost the Intercontinental Championship, and Baron Corbin seems to be the resident bitch of Monday Night Raw. Corbin is rocking Rollins, keeping control. Corbin takes Rollins up top for a superplex, but Rollins resists. Rollins gets dropped onto the apron, comes right back with a kick to the head. Rollins springboards in, but Corbin catches him in midair with a chokeslam. And they say it was a chokeslam backbreaker combination. I like that move. Baron Corbin's got some cool moves, man, but he's not a cool wrestler. Rollins kicks out. Corbin argues with the referee. Rollins counters the end of days, and then they trade counters again. Rollins ends up kicking Corbin in the face while he's on his knees with a super kick. Rollins nails the stomp for the pin and the win. And that was it. Merry Christmas and ho, ho, ho. That was your edition of Monday Night Raw on Christmas Eve. Expect more of the same next week, folks. No storyline progression until we get back to being live on Monday night. I had to do this because this is what I do. Not going to miss a Monday Night Raw, man. Monday Night Raw is my most viewed content during the week. And I assume that the views for this video will be down, but it is what it is. I had to sit here and cover Monday Night Raw. I am not going to go as hard as I usually do on Monday Night Raw this week because it's Christmas Eve. You know, they deserve, in all actuality. You know, I know we can be a little harsh here, and Raw is generally terrible on a week-to-week basis, but, you know, the wrestlers themselves, the individuals who work in the ring, in and out, every single week, they deserve to spend time with their families. So, for the people who are criticizing WWE for not being live tonight, for not continuing storylines, for not doing anything to make the show better. Yes, Stephanie McMahon said it begins tonight. Yes, there has not been any change instituted yet. But I mentioned it off the script. I'm giving them till the second week of January. If we don't start seeing change going on into the Royal Rumble, then we have every right to complain. This week and next week, there's no room for complaints because this is what you're going to get. You got it tonight, you're going to get it again next week. This is just the name of the game with these holiday editions of Monday Night Raw. You're going to see a Miracle on 34th Street fight. You're going to see no storyline progression towards the end of the year because everybody's with their families. Television quality takes a huge backseat. It takes a backseat every week, but more so during these types of weeks. This is why I don't really like the holidays, you know? So I really can't sit here and hate on the show like I usually do. It was going to be garbage. We expected it to be garbage. It ended up being garbage. Nothing important happened. I don't know what you want me to say. But I will be back here on Wednesday with SmackDown Live. Wednesday with NXT. And I'll be back with the normal week's content off the script and all that right here on the channel. Plus some new gaming content here on the channel as well, man. Thank you guys so very much for everything. I hope you both...
Oh my God, man. I had to cut JD off because I was sick and tired of him just shitting on the A show, man. You know, Monday Night Raw is the A show of WWE, and I am the executive producer, Kevin Dunn. And I can't stand when people shit on my show, man. You know, I'm not big on the holidays, but correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't most of your trees made of, wood? Yeah, they're made of wood, man. You know, this show is suffering without Roman Reigns, man. I gotta tell you. It's suffering without Roman Reigns. And Vince McMahon, even though he's 73 years old, He is a modern day genius, man. You guys are expecting change on Monday Night Raw? Oh man, but we played you like a fucking fiddle. I played you all like a log of wood last week, man. You guys thought that there was change coming to Monday Night Raw, man, as you sit by the fireplace and you sip your eggnog and you wait for Santa to bring you all your gifts. We're gonna be continuing to give you the worst fucking show on Monday night and tell you that it's the best show on Monday night, man. We have no Universal Champion. Dean Ambrose is portraying a Batman-like character in vain. And Seth Rollins, you think Seth Rollins is the man? You all thought Seth Rollins is going to be the man after Roman Reigns? Oh no, man, Seth Rollins don't like that wood. He didn't get me a nice big toothbrush for Christmas, man. He gave me some smelly farts and he gave me a nice lump of coal. So I'm going to show him who's boss in 2019, man. You guys want a women's division? You guys think Becky Lynch is going to WrestleMania? Oh man, Roman Reigns is not going to be at WrestleMania, man. We have to have that Roman Reigns influence at WrestleMania, and that's for Charlotte Flair. That's for Charlotte Flair, man. And it's going to be great. Becky Lynch. You guys think Becky Lynch is going to win the title? You guys think Becky Lynch is going to tap out Ronda Rousey? Oh, man, I can't wait for 2019. It's going to be great, man. What? Wait a minute. What, free agents? Who? Wait, the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks, do they have big teeth like I do? Wait a minute, we offered them 7 figures? They better be bringing me 7 figures of wood. They ain't getting into my company without a nice compensation. Who? What? Stardust? I don't remember him, man. Who the fuck was that? Stardust. What? Who? Omega? Yeah, Kenny Omega ain't coming over here, man. We don't need that video game playing fool over here. We already have Xavier Woods. Oh, man. I love you all, man. You gotta take care of now. You keep expecting that change on Monday Night Raw, man. I'm gonna sit here and keep... wood change. You can change the channel, man. My pockets and my wallet are flowing with green. Oh, man, my name is Kevin Dunn, executive producer of Monday Night Raw, and this is the worst podcast on YouTube.com off the script. I'll see you guys later, man. I'll see you on SmackDown.